Hey everyone, it's Angela with FoodStorageAndSurvival.com and welcome back to our 72-hour kit series. This is week 3 and we are talking about building a fire. Alright, so we are going to cover a number of different ways. I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate them today because we are inside my house. It's actually cold and windy outside and I didn't want to go out today. Okay, so forgive me. We will show some of these, I'm sure, in future videos when I get outside and want to be out there. So anyway, let's get on with options for getting a fire started. Well, first, before we get started with that, if you're building your kit to stay home, then lighting a fire is not going to be real high on your priorities for stocking your kit. But if you're planning on going anywhere with your kit, evacuating your house, it's a good idea to have a way to start a fire just in case you don't get to civilization as soon as you think you will. All right, so option number 1 is matches. And they're strike anywhere and strike on the box. If you have a choice, get the strike anywhere, just because you don't have to have the box to be able to light them. If you get plain matches, you're going to want to waterproof them, and I will put a link to how to do that in the description of this video. So there's options for waterproofing your own matches. Or you can get waterproof matches that are already been waterproofed, and these are generally strike on the box. So if you're going to repackage them, you're going to want to take this part of your box with you. All right, then we have stormproof matches, and stormproof matches are bigger and fatter and they burn longer, sort of. They burn hotter, but they actually kind of burn faster than you would think for as big as they are. So with any of these, you're going to want to have your tinder ready to go. All right, let's look at those side by side. I did get one out of each. All right, this is your strike anywhere. There's your little waterproof matches, and this is the stormproof match, so it's quite a bit bigger, as you can see. All right, that's your matches options. Now let's talk about lighters. We're going to move up just a step from matches. Matches are pretty good, but if I got a choice, I'm going to take a lighter because they're just a little more reliable. All right, you start with your low-end Bic lighters, and you can get these, at your grocery store. And these I will light up for you just so you can see kind of how they work. All right, Bic lighter, easy, cheap, inexpensive. They're at the checkout stand at pretty much every store. But they're not real sturdy. So I have had one in a kit that cracked and leaked all over everything. So then not only is it useless, but it really made a mess. So if you're going to have those, I would suggest putting them into a Ziploc or something that will keep the liquid if it does decide to leak. Okay, now we're going to move up to refillable lighters. This one's a Coleman, and I can't remember what kind it is, but these lighters run on butane, and there's a little hole somewhere in them where you can refill them. And this one is just a standard lighter, and I'm thinking if I remember right, this was a high altitude. Okay, but it just lights up with a flame just like your regular lighter. It does have continuous gas going out as long as that lid's open. So we lock the lid down and then the gas shuts off. All right, now this is a stormproof lighter, and it's a Brunton Helios. There's the name on it right there. And let's see, this one's a little fancier. Okay, so you can see the difference in the flame between that and the other lighters that we had going. This is one that's going to withstand some wind and weather for you, but a lot more expensive also. So totally up to you what you think you might need in a lighter. They're all good. They're all going to get a fire lit, but like I said, those stormproof ones are pretty nice. All right, next thing we're looking at is striker style lighters, okay? And these come in a lot of different designs, but they're really kind of nice. There's a piece of metal, and sometimes they don't come with a piece of metal. You have to use your knife. So you want to use the back end of your knife because you don't want to dull your knife trying to start your fire. But and they spark when you rub those two together. So they come in a number of different varieties, and in fact the most basic of them you've probably seen that you can get in the camping section of pretty much any store And this one doesn't come with the metal part to rub it with, but this is a magnesium and steel is what they're called, but you can scrape off this metal and then spark into the metal shavings and it lights up. So with this striker type of fire starter, you do need to have something to catch that spark. So you can use char cloth, or you can use let's see, what was that thing called? One of these. The cotton ball with Vaseline rubbed into it. And those are really nice. Okay, a little bit, kind of the same style as that first one, but smaller. One that's a little bit different is this, and I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's like a striker, and it has fuel in it, and then there's a wick, and the steel to strike the striker is on the end here, and so as you strike that, the sparks will catch on your wick, and then it's like having a match in your hand, and that's kind of a slick little deal. Like I said, I don't know, I can't remember the name on this one, the brand on it, but they're a nice little design. All right, let's see. Now there are some options. These are the 3 most common and easiest to use, being matches and lighters and the strikers. There are some other options, in fact a lot of other options for getting a fire lit, but to use other options for your kit, you're going to really want to practice and be practiced up on how to use them, because it's hard enough for me, especially, okay, I'm not a fire lighting professional, which is probably why I've collected so many different ways to start a fire, because I'm not that comfortable with any one of them. All right, so if you're going to use a different method that's not one of those 3 most common methods, then you're going to want to practice even some more. There are other ways, though, to get a fire lighted, and we're going to talk about just a couple of them here. I'll show you a couple. All right, one is a parabolic lens. And these are, oh, you can see my painting on the wall there. Nice. These are interesting. They are, you shoot it towards the sun, and all the sun rays collect and point as they reflect off of here up to this little spring. And so you put your little tinder piece in the spring, like punk wood or paper or something that's going to hold, char cloth would work great there too. Something that's going to hold that ember to get it to your fire. And they're kind of pretty slick, I don't know, lightweight and not too hard to use. All right, another option, let's see, this is a good one. This one is super lightweight to carry around, and it's really small, and that's your magnifying glass. And you can see even in the room here where we're at, you can see where the magnifying glass collects the light and magnifies it, and then, you know, you used to burn bugs with these as a kid, be honest, right? So you can get a fire going with those as well. And I have another video, I'll put the link to that on here so that you can watch how to start a fire with a magnifying glass. Excuse me. All right, there are other options for starting a fire. One of the others I wanted to talk about just real quick is a bow drill. And this is the only reason that I really want to cover a bow drill is that if you're out in the woods and you have nothing but your pocket knife and a bootlace, you can make yourself a bow drill. But it's not one that I would try to do if I hadn't ever done it. So you're going to want to build a bow drill or get a bow drill and practice with it before you're out in the woods and you decide you're just going to build your own, because there is kind of a knack to it. There's a lot of a knack to it, okay? I'm not really good at this one, so I don't carry this in my kit. I've got lots of other options. Some of these other ones, like I said. All right, that's going to wind up this one. We are going to do actually part 2 of today and cover just a few ways to help your fire get started in case you're not a real professional like me. I mean, like, not a professional like me. I'm not the professional, okay? In case you're like me and you're not a professional at starting fires, it's good to carry around a few extra helps. So make sure and click over to number 2 and be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. And we will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.